Hey guys, it's Oberon LaFay. I know I've been gone a really long time. I've been extremely busy. And before I get into this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's been going on lately. I've been actually trying to have a life. You know, I've been going to a lot of doctor's appointments, having a lot of medical tests done, work on both my physical and mental health. So I've been sorry about that. Also, my ex-girlfriend showed up out of nowhere on me for one night, made out with me, and then said things were too complicated and that in common and that she never wants to talk to me again. So there's that. But other than that, I'm still I love them. They are wonderful, and I'm just trying to, you know, move on with my life and just do stuff. But what I want to talk to you about today is of how I came out. Actually, it started a lot longer ago than high school. It actually was a child, and also before. I know that my videos are still terrible, broke, like broker than broke, like poor as fuck broke, like broke. Okay, but that's beside the point. It started when I was a child. At around 8 years old, I started realizing that if I grew up and I would puberty and I would experience all the things that females experience, and I would, like, you know, I'm sorry, trigger warning, I'm going to talk about some graphic stuff. I would grow breasts and get my period and all that. And I was aware of this, and that terrified me. I didn't want that. I was scared, and I just couldn't let that happen. And I thought that I could push it away. I thought that I could push it away. And I started becoming more masculine because I thought that the more masculine I acted, and that's actually how I felt, you know. I felt like more masculine but still kind of feminine. I thought that the more masculine I acted, I wouldn't get my period and I wouldn't have to experience puberty as a girl. Obviously that was bullshit, but I got my hair cut and I started wearing, you know, boys' clothes. And that went on for like however long it went on, and then I realized that I was being absurd and that I should try and be normal. So I just became more traditionally feminine, and my style has varied throughout the years, you know, between masculine and feminine styles. And sorry, I'm getting an interruption. 1 second. Daddy, I'm making a video.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt.
It's okay. Everything's fine. The storm hasn't hit yet.
Elizabeth back?
No, she's at grocery outlet.
Okay, really quick. You get enough to leave. All I need you to do is just make sure that the cover hasn't blown off the motorcycle. That's all. Just down your leisure. Thanks.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Love you too.
Sorry about that. My dad needed something. But yeah, like the way I dressed has varied because I always kind of knew that I was a more masculine person on the inside, and I'll admit I am very feminine, and it varies. Like my style is very fluid, and the way I behave is very feminine. But I always felt like I had kind of a seed of masculinity. So if we fast forward, because nothing else matters until we hit high school. So in high school, I mean, I was very just kind of a disturbed kid. I mean, I had a lot going on in life, and just stories for another day. But my life was shit as fuck, like shitty, shitty, shitty. Um, but my girlfriend at the time, or I think she might have just been my friend at the time, but the same one that I talked about at the beginning of this video, who waltzed back into my life, made out with me, and then said, "I never want to see you again." That one. She was talking about this kid. And I'm not gonna name any names, but she was talking about this kid. Um, who was a kid that we both knew, who was trans. And I told my girlfriend that I didn't know that they were trans, and that I thought that was cool. But then some gears started turning in my head, and everything started really making a lot of sense. And I realized that what I had been experiencing in life were signs that I could possibly be trans. And it started out very slowly. It was just experimenting, like mixing up like masculinity and femininity, and the way I dressed, and just being more kind of queer. And then I went and I bought an ace bandage, and I started, binding, and um I I I started just feeling different, and I thought about it a long time. And um I realized, like, shit, I'm trans. Um this was like a couple months before my 18th birthday. So it's almost exactly 6 years since, or 5 or 6 years. Yeah, 5 years since um since I came out. Um But I actually wrote notes to all my teachers asking if they could please use male pronouns. And I don't really remember how I came up with my first name. And by first name, I mean like the name that I used to use that I don't use anymore. Um, I think I have a story or a video about that. But so yeah, I wrote notes to my teachers asking them to use the name and pronouns of my choice. And so I was doing that for a while. And I don't remember how either of my moms found out. I really don't remember. I just remember, like, I just kind of remember them being like, yeah, we kind of knew, when I decided to have a conversation with them about it. And at first they were just like, they just didn't know how to react. Um, Neither of them did, because they're feminists. It's like woman power. They were super happy to have a daughter. I mean, my mom has two older kids, a daughter and a son. But it's just like woman power. My mom is a literal Amazon, and just you know, um, they didn't get it, and they didn't really understand. And I remember my 18th birthday was growing closer and closer, and um, they asked if I would wear a dress to my own birthday. And at first I said no, and I was just like, no, I can't. But the more they pushed me, I decided that I would, and I actually wore a dress to my 18th birthday. And from then on, I started becoming more feminine again, because actually I just started dressing like and acting like a girl again. Because things were just too hard. My 18th or my senior graduation photo, I'm wearing my prom dress. And I am pretty, and fucking hate my senior photos. And I fucking hate my 18th birthday photos. Because I wasn't allowed to express myself. But after I turned 18, I was just like, no, fuck you. I'm doing what I want. I'm dressing how I want. I became butch as fuck. And I remember, this is the breaking point, and this is why I have so many problems with my dad. I don't think I ever talked about my problems with my dad, but this right here that I'm going to talk about is one of the reasons that my relationship with my dad is still shit. It was Easter. So this was still when I was like freshly came out, because you know Easter is not that far after my birthday. My birthday's in January. So it was Easter, and I was supposed to be going to a family lunch. And I went to family lunch, or actually no, I hadn't gone yet. I had gotten dressed, and I was wearing, you know, a button-up suit or a button-up shirt and blah blah blah. And my dad complained because he could see my ace bandage underneath that, and he was like, "Take it off." And I told him no. I told him I wasn't going to. I felt uncomfortable. And he told me to take it off, and I said I wasn't going to. I actually put a tank top on over it. I was like, you know, shit, the dog's barking. I said I'd put a tank top on over it. And he said that wasn't good enough, and that he wouldn't take me out of the house if I was wearing the ace bandage. And I actually cried, and I fought, and I cried the entire way there. And I was grumpy all throughout the lunch, because I was just super pissed off and sad and angry. Oh gosh. I have to cut this video short. This might have a part 2. See you guys later. There definitely will be a part 2. I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.